Before empires and science, there was myth. In the dawn of Western civilization, the Hellenes raised a pantheon that shaped the destiny of nations. The Greek mythology that flourished over 2,700 years ago is not just a book of stories, but the very foundation of our civilization. At the heart of this belief are the Olympian gods, uncontrollable forces of nature and of humanity itself. They were cosmogonic forces, recorded by Hesiod, Homer, and in the Orphic hymns. And they were capable of creating and destroying the world in an instant. Today, we are going to judge the strength of these 12 Olympians: Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, Hera, Demeter, Ares, Athena, Apollo, Artemis, Hephaestus, Hermes, and Aphrodite. May the oracle decide who reigns. Welcome, noble Templar travelers. For this judgment, we have divided divine power into 4 levels of strength and influence. S. Dominators of the cosmos. Supreme forces, capable of shaping destiny and commanding the gods themselves. A. Great forces. Rulers of vital elements with massive influence on war and life. B. Powerful and essential. Guardians of crucial aspects, yet with limited combat power. And C. Key influencers. Gods of symbolic or social importance, but without destructive or cosmic force. But before the sacred fire of Delphi reveals the first name, here is a challenge. Write now in the comments what classification order you think we will have, from highest to lowest. I will be watching to see who is the greatest connoisseur of the myths and who will get the most right. Leave your guess and let's begin. With the rules established, let luck choose our first god. May the sacred fire of Delphi choose the first one to face the judgment. Zeus, Lord of the Heavens. Zeus, Lord of the Heavens, and Father of the Gods, did not merely inherit the throne of Olympus. He conquered it. When the tyranny of the Titans threatened to consume the world, it was Zeus who raised the rebellion, freed his siblings from Cronus's belly, and cast the ancient lords into the abyss of Tartarus. After the victory, the young god demonstrated his absolute dominion over the forces of nature. With the lightning bolt forged by the Cyclopes, he split mountains, set oceans ablaze, and made the heavens bend to his will. No storm, thunder, or wind blows without Zeus's consent. When the giants dared to challenge Olympus, he alone incinerated the armies that tried to climb the heavens. And when men abused divine hospitality, it was Zeus who unleashed the flood that purified the earth, sparing only Deucalion and Pyrrha. Even the gods fear him. Hera was chained for her rebellion, Apollo and Poseidon were punished and sent to serve among mortals. Zeus is not merely king, he is the very law of the cosmos. The thunder is his decree, the lightning, his judgment. No other god reaches such an extent of power. As we just saw, Zeus's power is not limited to one domain. It encompasses all of them. From the thunderbolts to the will of the gods, everything exists under his order. No force equals him, no name surpasses him. His place could not be anywhere else, the top of Olympus. May the thunder of Zeus tear through the heavens and announce the next name. Apollo, the god of light and prophecy. Apollo, son of Zeus and Leto, is the god of light, prophecy, and universal harmony. His power is not born from chaos, but from order. He is the very divine reason that illuminates the world. From his temple in Delphi, he commands the most sacred oracle in Greece, where even kings kneel to hear his will. No throne, army, or empire dares to move without first listening to the voice of Apollo, who dictates the destiny of men through Pythia, his priestess. But his light is not only wisdom, it is also destruction. With his golden arrows, he can bring healing or plague, life or ruin. During the Trojan War, it was he who cast the plague upon the Greeks, devastating warriors with the precision of a god who never misses his mark. Apollo is the balance between art and war, the sun that guides and the fire that consumes. Apollo's control over the oracle grants him the greatest political and military influence in the pantheon. And his arrows are a threat of invisible mass destruction. He is an undeniable vital force, but one who still bows to the cosmic law of Zeus. Therefore, Apollo occupies the A tier, great force of Olympus. May Apollo's lyre play its melody, and reveal the chosen one. Demeter, guardian of fertility. Demeter, daughter of Cronus and Rhea, is the goddess of the harvest, fertility, and the sacred balance between life and death. From the fields that feed kings and peasants to the cycle of the seasons, she is the one who dictates the rhythm of human existence. When her daughter Persephone was abducted by Hades, Demeter's grief shook the very world. In her silent fury, she brought all harvesting to a halt, the grains withered, the rivers receded, and winter stretched over the land like a veil of mourning. No god dared to intervene, for as Demeter wept, the world stopped generating life. The soil was barren and the women's wombs, silent as winter. Only after Zeus's intervention and the creation of the Pact of the Seasons, half the year with Persephone in the underworld, half on earth, did fertility return to the world. Thus, Demeter showed that her power is not one of instantaneous destruction, but of control over the very sustenance of life. She is the force that makes the wheat grow, and the power that can make it never be born again. Demeter does not dominate skies or seas, but she possesses the power of silent extinction, showing that she is vital to the cosmic order. However, her domain is over subsistence, not over direct combat or absolute cosmic dominance. She is a powerful and essential force. She goes to the B tier. While the next name does not flourish like Demeter's golden ears of corn. Tell me, how many positions have you guessed correctly so far? Poseidon, the lord of the seas. Poseidon, brother of Zeus and Hades, is the second of the big three, and his power is one of the most feared among the gods. His domain is not limited to the waters surrounding the islands of Greece. Poseidon governs 70% of the world, all the seas, oceans, and abysses that sustain the earth. Wielding his sacred trident, he can summon storms capable of swallowing entire fleets, raise walls of water taller than mountains, and unleash tsunamis that erase coastal civilizations from history. But Poseidon's power goes beyond the sea. His trident can not only create tidal waves and tsunamis, destroying coastal cities in seconds, but can also shake the foundations of the earth. He is the embodiment of elemental fury and the instability of nature, the architect and destroyer of continents. When he is enraged, not even the gods dare to cross his domains. Poseidon's fury is the very instinct of the world, untamed, unpredictable, and inevitable. He is the perfect balance between order and chaos, brother and rival of Zeus, equal in power, different only in nature. On the throne of the waters, Poseidon is absolute sovereign. As we just saw, Poseidon is not merely the lord of the seas, he is the power that sustains and threatens the world at the same time. On the same cosmic level as Zeus, there is no doubt, Poseidon rises among the dominators of the universe. May the waves of Poseidon rise, and bring forth the next chosen one. Hermes, the messenger of the gods. Hermes, son of Zeus and the nymph Maia, is the messenger of the gods and the patron of travelers, thieves, and merchants. No other god is as fast or as cunning. From birth, he showed his unpredictable nature. While still a child, he tricked Apollo and stole his cattle, hiding the tracks with divine ingenuity. Instead of punishing him, Apollo recognized his intelligence, and Hermes received the caduceus, symbol of his new authority. His power is not destructive, but it is fundamental to the divine order, the ability to move freely and rapidly between Olympus, Earth, and the underworld. He is the only one with this total mobility. It is he who carries the messages of the gods, leads souls to Hades, and guides mortals in dreams and omens. His strength lies in the word, in negotiation, in speed, and in cunning. He is the god who maintains dialogue between worlds and prevents the cosmos from plunging into silence. Hermes does not command armies or dominate elements, but his influence travels through all realms. His strength is not brute power, but intelligence, speed, communication, and cunning. For sustaining the balance between the worlds without ever imposing destruction, Hermes will be the first to occupy a position in the C tier, key influencer of Olympus. May the winged sandals of Hermes cross the winds and bring the next name. Ares, the spirit of war. Ares, son of Zeus and Hera, is the god of war in its rawest form, the roar of the battlefield. The sound of iron against iron. Where Ares treads, the earth is stained with blood. He rides the winds of destruction, inspiring fury in armies and feeding the madness of combat. His simple presence can decide the course of a war, as he is the invisible engine of human violence. But Ares is not strategy, he is impulse. He fights for the pleasure of conflict, not for victory. During the Trojan War, he fought alongside the Trojans, but was wounded by a mere mortal Diomedes, with the help of Athena, proving that his brute strength is not invincible. Still, his power is devastating. The cry of Ares can silence armies, and his impetus can set the world on fire. He is the fire of war, uncontrollable, inevitable, and eternal. Ares is the personification of war in its wildest form. However, his lack of strategy and volatile temper prevent him from reaching the S tier. For this reason, he will occupy the A tier, great force of Olympus. May the roar of Ares echo as on the battlefields and reveal our next god. Hephaestus, the blacksmith of the gods. Hephaestus, son of Zeus and Hera, is the god of the forge, fire, and volcanoes, the divine artisan who transforms chaos into creation. Rejected at birth for his deformity and cast down from Olympus, Hephaestus fell to earth but rose up stronger. In the heart of volcanoes, he found his empire and made fire his ally. From his workshop spring the weapons that sustain the power of the gods. Poseidon's trident, Apollo's bow, Ares' armor, and even Zeus's lightning bolt. Every spark that leaves his anvil carries the power of the elements. But his domain goes beyond metal. Hephaestus forged bronze automatons, living statues that guard palaces and cities, proving that his intelligence is a weapon as powerful as the fire he wields. Hephaestus is the silent god whose work sustains Olympus. Hephaestus does not conquer with swords, he forges them. He sustains combat by giving shape to the power of the other gods. His influence in war and divine life is immense, yet passive, which places him in the B tier. May the fire of Hephaestus forge the next name in the flames. Hades, the lord of the underworld. In some versions of mythology, Hades is not included among the 12 Olympians because he lives in the underworld. Brother of Zeus and Poseidon, Hades is the lord of the underworld, the final domain of all souls. When the universe was divided after the fall of the Titans, the sky fell to Zeus, the sea to Poseidon, and the underground world, with all the dead and the riches of the earth, to Hades. His power is silent, yet absolute. No soul, mortal or divine, can escape his realm without his permission. Even the heroes who dared to descend to Hades, such as Orpheus, Theseus, and Heracles, knew the weight of his authority. And from the depths, he commands not only the dead, but also the riches of the earth, gold, silver, iron, everything that glitters in the dark belongs to him. Hades does not need to wage war, for no one can challenge him. His power is the eternal silence of that which cannot be defeated, death. Hades' power does not depend on the sky or the sea. He dominates the final destiny of all beings. No god, hero, or mortal escapes his authority. For his sovereignty over death and the hidden riches of the earth, Hades shares cosmic power alongside Zeus and Poseidon in the S tier. And may the veil of the underworld open and Hades reveal our next Olympian. Artemis, the hunter of the moon. Artemis, daughter of Zeus and Leto, is the goddess of the hunt, the moon, and the wilderness. Since birth, she is the protector of the forests and the creatures that dwell within them, absolute mistress of instinct and freedom. With her silver arrows, Artemis never misses her target. Her shots can both grant a swift death to those who deserve it, and punish gods and mortals who defy her will. When King Oeneus dared to offend her, she sent the gigantic Caledonian boar to devastate his lands. When Actaeon spied on her bathing, she transformed him into a stag and had him torn apart by his own dogs. She is the hunter and the moon that silently observes the wild world. Her power does not raise mountains or destroy seas, but it commands the living forces that breathe on earth. Beautiful and lethal. Artemis' arrows never miss, and her domain over beasts and the moon makes her a vital and untamable force, but one restricted to the realm of forests and wild animals. B tier, powerful and essential. May the moon of Artemis shine and reveal the next name to us. Athena, the goddess of wisdom. Athena, daughter of Zeus, emerged fully armed from the head of the king of the gods himself, as the living embodiment of reason and strategy. She is the goddess of wisdom, strategy, and just warfare. Unlike Ares, who feeds on fury and chaos, Athena seeks victory through intelligence, tactics, and discipline. Where Ares sees blood, she sees results. In battle, no mind surpasses her. It was Athena who guided the most cunning heroes of mythology, Perseus, in his fight against Medusa, and Odysseus, in his return to Ithaca. Her weapon is the Aegis shield, a gift from Zeus, adorned with the Gorgon's head, a symbol of authority and divine power. Bearing such a weapon places her above all other warriors, human or divine. For uniting intellect, power, and divine authority, she can disarm and defeat S-tier gods with her cunning. She is an elite force that borders on the top, but she does not possess a pure cosmic domain. For this reason, Athena occupies the A-tier. And while you subscribe and leave a like, may the wisdom of Athena descend like an owl and announce the penultimate god to be evaluated. Aphrodite, the goddess of love. Aphrodite was born from the sea foam, daughter of beauty and primordial chaos. Her power is silent, yet absolute. No god, mortal, or creature escapes her influence, not even Zeus, who fears the reach of her passions. Aphrodite does not command armies or wield weapons, her power is to manipulate emotions. With a simple glance, she can inspire love or obsession, peace or war. It was her influence, through Helen, that set the world on fire and started the Trojan War, a war born not of fury, but of desire. She is the proof that love, in its purest form, is also a divine weapon. Aphrodite is an emotional and irresistible force, which acts in the shadows of will and reason. However, when Diomedes, touched by Athena's fury, wounded her in combat, she fled. For not even desire can resist war. Aphrodite is purely influential and relies on emotion to exert her power. And as an influential deity, she is placed in the C-tier, key influencer of Olympus. May the charm of Aphrodite rise and bring us the last Olympian of today. Hera, the queen of authority. The last god to be judged is Hera, the queen of the gods and wife of Zeus, the living embodiment of social order. She does not rule by brute force, but by authority and the bond. Her power is relentless vengeance, a force that destroys not with a single blow, but with the persistence of a curse that stretches across generations. She turns Zeus's lovers and their descendants into targets of eternal hatred, proving that her authority over the bond is unbreakable. Hera also possesses elite combat strength, having subdued the goddess Artemis in direct combat. However, her true power lies in strategic influence. It was she who devised the strategy to chain Zeus, demonstrating the ability to challenge cosmic power through political manipulation. Her power is vast, her influence is political and conceptual, and she defeats stronger gods with the cunning and persistence of her fury. Hera does not possess an elemental domain of her own, but her conceptual authority over social order makes her one of the most feared deities. Because she is the queen and a dominant force, but subordinate to Zeus's law, and a great force that destroys destinies, but not the cosmos. She occupies the tier immediately below the top, A tier. And so, our tier list of the 12 Olympians is complete. With Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades reigning absolute as dominators of the cosmos. Now is the moment of truth. Did you get the result right? Now that you've seen the justifications, go back to the comments and check your initial ranking, and tell me what you thought of the final result. Remember, I will be reading every comment to see who the true champion of Delphi was. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to our channel. See you on the next journey. Bye.